And then watching, I saw there's not so much competition. Maybe I can remind myself and see if I'm still the queen that won as a fresher. Yeah, so I actually borrowed heels. Yes. I met a queen that I was with her for Miss University Kenya. So I asked for her heels. She was so kind to assist me. And then I hit the runway. I'd actually styled my best friend then, who would
in
model.
high school?
Yeah, in high school.
Where is this?
Sugoi Girls High School.
Sugoi?
Yeah, in Eldoret.
The Sugoi we hear about every day?
The Sugoi you hear, but don't come to me. Most people don't know me. I only know like 40 people in my class. And they're not even here. Most freshers are not interested in such things. And then, you actually have a nice body. Let's try our bed sheets style this way. Let's try these tissues style this way. Yeah. But after high school, she's now pursuing in makeup.
My friend has pushed me to do it. My boyfriend thinks I'm pretty and stuff like that. Not knowing there's more than being pretty. And you've spoken about it. There's some things you learned getting into the pageantry.
When Miss Kamunge asked, "Are you girls comfortable?" I raised my hand and I told her, "Mom, I'm not comfortable." And then she was like, "Why are you not comfortable?" I told her, "I really don't feel like I look okay. It's a nice dress, but I feel like the fabrics is not like they don't match. They don't go well. If I had a mentor, this person would have guided me like, hey, Wairimo, don't go to this and this pageantry. Let's work on you, and then you go to this other pageantry."
If you're planning to become a beauty queen, give it 1 year. It's just like class. You have to go to class 1 for the 3 terms to go to class 2 and stuff like that. We're missing that. The models are in a hurry to be in the next place. So they're thirsty. That's what, and like you put it very well. You can't be thirsty for any water. Every other morning when I wake up, I'm looking for on my WhatsApp. I can see your status about your brand. So that's one thing we're missing. That's why most people don't understand this pageantry thing.
Much as you're doing well as a person, you look good, there's also times that you actually get to those ghettos and do what people might not think that a beauty queen would be doing. So just get into those spaces, talk into those ghetto girls, go cleaning so that you can actually give value to yourself as a beauty queen.
You meet somebody today, you may never know them, but they'll ask you, "Warimo, you've changed my life." So like, hey, I've never met you. I see your status, I see how you made it, and probably this is what has made me become Miss Kabarak or whatever stuff. So the most important thing in pageantry, because we need leadership, and those are the things that needs to be done. You must be dirty. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Sash and Style, episode 8, season 2. We thank God for so far we've come. I'm grateful today to have a beautiful model here. She's going to talk to us about her journey, about modeling and stuff like that. Usually, I don't introduce because I don't understand how to introduce these beautiful people. I've been with them for so long. So I want to hear from you, our guests. The audience want to know who you are. Kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes. Hi everyone. My name is Wairimo Mungai, and yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a fashion model, and I'm also a social media manager. But my academic background is in public relations and community development.
Wow, beautiful. She has a career and a half. She's a community developer.
Yes.
She's a model. And she loves charity. I know she didn't say that. But today we're going to discuss more on your journey on pageantry, modeling, and fashion. How did you start?
Yeah, so it started way back when I was a kid, I think around 7 years. Yeah, so back then the Miss World Kenya used to happen during holidays. I remember it used to happen around December. So I'd be very, very glued. I'd always be glued on the TV, just watching how those girls are like performing, showcasing their talents. Yeah, and then in high school, I had a great passion in modeling. and planning of those events. But those days I couldn't believe that I could actually model. So I'd actually style my best friend then, who would
In
model.
high school?
Yeah, in high school.
Where is this?
Sugoi Girls High School.
Sogoi?
Yeah, in Eldoret.
The Sogoi we hear about
yeah,
every day?
The Sugoi you hear, but
Wow.
don't come to it.
Great. One person that I've had has been to Sogoi. I just started hearing about Sogoi in 2022.
Ah.
So tell us about Sogoi Girls and your friendship and makeup and all those.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was in Sugoi Girls from 2013 to 2016. And all those years, I'd always styled my friend since we were in Form 1. So in Form 3 is when she won. And then after she won, there was a category for awarding the designer. Yeah, so by default, I got awarded.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I really felt like, oh, so this is something they can really do. But then I was just doing styling. Yeah, so I cleared my high school and then joined campus. I joined St. Paul's University. So in St. Paul's University, there's this lady that was in charge of, in my campus, it's a club, a modeling club. Yeah, so there's this girl that was working in classes, but then I'm just a fresher. So she's going saying, like calling out for models, advising freshers that they should join. So I just went and I watched those girls, both ladies and gents, training. And then I went home and I was like, I think I can do it. Let me just give it a shot. The worst that can happen.
Yes.
I was like, the worst that can happen is me not trying. Yeah.
True. In life, that's exactly what happens. If you don't try, you regret later.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to ask, you're a designer, you've been given an award in high school.
Yeah.
How did you find out what happened to your model? Did she continue after high school? Is she a queen somewhere?
No, she actually didn't, because I'm the one that used to push her.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to tell her, you actually have a nice body. Let's try our bed sheet style this way. Let's try these tissues style this way. Yeah. But after high school, she's now pursuing in makeup.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just something in the field.
Great. I keep telling people, pageant is not about that winning the crown.
Yes.
But definitely when you're on the catwalk, you're already a winner at that point in time. It's only how do you pick up from not getting the crown?
Yeah.
Do you want to become a designer, makeup artist, or whatever? And the same life, the more you consist on doing something, the consistency, you perfect on it. So you are at the auditions, you decided I want to do it. What will I lose anyway?
Yeah.
So then?
Yeah, so I joined. I remember it was a week before competitions.
Yes.
Yeah, I joined, and for designing, I didn't have a problem because I used to have these things in mind. Like in traditional, I'd love to do this. Professional, I'd like to do this. So that was easy. But the hardest part was now the catwalk, because I was never in heels before. I was never like on the runway before professionally. So that was the hardest part, and I have a week. But I just soldiered on, and then we had like a good trainer. I remember my first trainer was Vin Cleese, the designer.
Like a body.
Yes,
I know him.
Yes, he was so good, and he was patient with me. Yeah, so I trained, came the day of the event, and I didn't actually expect to like maybe appear or anything. And then I'm just a fresher, nobody knows me in the campus. But that day, the moment I walked in introduction, I remember people cheering me, and I was like, these people don't know me. I only know like 40 people in my class, and they're not even here. Most freshers are not interested in such things. And then, yeah, so like I was just like, oh, so I think I'm actually good at this. I've nailed introduction, and let's see what we got. Yeah, so after the event, I actually won. That was Miss St. Paul's University Nakuru campus, and then we went for now Miss St. Paul's.
You're there. You've won Miss St. Paul's the first year. Number one, people say the campus events you must know someone, probably a judge or the organizers, or probably you're having an affair with the student leaders. So there's that discussion that goes on. Now you're a fresher, you've decided by yourself, your conviction that you want to do it. The other thing is it's St. Paul's is a Christian university. Most people misunderstand pageantry. So again, how is a Christian university convinced to do pageantry? So there are two questions in one.
Mm-hmm.
One, you've won an event, you're a fresher, and all those things people are talking about,
Mm-hmm.
did they happen to you? Number two, St. Paul's University, of course, with the name we know is a Christian university. How do they embrace pageantry?
Yeah, so answer the first question.
Yes.
They usually say that you have to know someone, but I didn't know anyone. I was just by my own. Yeah, but I'd say probably because it's not like for the Nakuru campus, it's not so big. So maybe, and then the judges were the staff, the university staff. They only had like one outsider, and it was Vin Cleese, the designer, the trainer. Yeah, so I'd say that much as they say you have to know someone, but you just do your thing. Just be smart. In as much as they had someone in mind, they'll have no other choice but to crown you because you've shown like I really deserve this and I've brought my A game. And then number two, of course, St. Paul's it's a Christian university. I think we have like 5 different churches that are sponsoring the university. Yeah, so you can imagine the kind of surrounding that it has. Yeah, but they usually, I think the student leaders that were there before, they did a great job in I think capacity building the university staff and telling them that it is more than pageantry. We've had a lot of queens from even St. Paul's University that have shown that I'm this and this person, I'm this and this person in the society, I'm doing well in the society because of the platform that you gave me in school. Like they always talk about Grace Wanene. Grace Wanene was in St. Paul's University and she started from modeling in school.
Campus,
That's
yes.
why she's doing those charity events. She even has her own organization. Yeah. So when they hear such stories, they see such, and then there is also me. Yeah, in not so many words, but I can say they always refer to Wairimo, the likes of Kina Wairimo, Grace Wanene. So it's like once you get into that platform, make sure you don't like ruin for the rest that are following that tale.
Yeah, because I know Vince was my student when he was contesting for Mr. and Miss University.
Yeah.
Went for boot camp in Diani. And I remember they were with the Bolo Boss, they were with I think Mr. Wall that year, Kelvin. And it was just a beautiful boot camp, and that whole time it was just amazing. And I think most of the guys that come through Pambazuka, there's something that we learn and just we train them so they get out there and do their thing professionally.
Yeah.
I would attest to St. Paul's. I know one of people may not know, but KTN news anchor Ashley was Miss St. Paul's in 2013-2014. So again, with those big names, and I think people just being educated on the difference between high fashion and pageantry.
Yes.
There's just a thin line between the two. So I think people like you should go back and just push that narrative to Christianity and I think Islam, where they believe it's the wrong thing because nobody has told them they're two different things. It's about morality when it comes to pageantry. So you're done. You've won as a first year. It's unbelievable. A first year has won. Of course, I've done pageantry for long. Most of the time, apart from people talking, people have their own fun and like, how did she even win? She's the first year. Anyway, so you've won. What next?
Yeah. So after winning, I went for the second event. That is Miss St. Paul's University, Kenya. They usually have the Nakuru campus, Nairobi, Limuru. Compete for now, Miss St. Paul's University, Kenya.
That happens in Limuru?
In Limuru.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it the main gala.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I went for the main gala. There was a lot of talk like, freshers barely win this. And then the fact that I started from diploma. So I was doing my diploma at that time. So they were like, a diploma student can't win, apparently. So you just go try, maybe be first runners up or second runners up, because first year, a diploma student barely wins, because by the time you are you are finishing your reign, you'd have already graduated. I mean, I just went, I was like, I'm actually doing this for fun. Maybe when I start my degree, then I'll go for even the bigger crown, because I didn't even expect I'll
The first
reach
one,
to
yes.
this
Yes.
to this platform. So I went there again. I won.
Wow,
I know.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. I've never forgotten that moment to date. Yeah, so after winning that is when I heard of Mr. and Miss University Kenya. And then I now like started looking up online. And then I came through, actually from Facebook. I came across Miss University, Mr. and Miss University Kenya from Facebook. And then that is how I came, met you, I knew of Pambazuka, and then I contested again for Mr. and Miss University Kenya 2019.
Wow.
Yes.
So a diploma student has won Miss St. Paul's.
Yes.
Did you immediately join a degree course, or you finish and went back, then came back to do your degree?
Yeah, so when I won, I was in my first semester for diploma, and then it's usually an year.
Yes.
So by the time I was coming to by the time I was graduating for diploma,
Yes.
I had already started
Your degree.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, not really my degree.
Yes.
I gave myself a break of one semester.
Yeah.
That was August, December 2019. And then now when I came to start my degrees when COVID happened. So I only did one semester, and I actually remember the last exam we did it online. Yeah, so after there I decided, let me just rest this bit, and then maybe 2021 we'll see how things go, and then I'll resume to
Continue.
school. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why most of the time Mr. and Miss University probably don't want the diploma students, because
Yes.
probably you're doing a 9-month course. So by the time you win, maybe you're in your 4th month, so you have like 4 months to clear. Then all of a sudden you're out of campus. That means for that 1 year of reign, probably you are not able to do whatever you're supposed to do, or you are cut short with your plans. So like you're very lucky at that point. Then COVID has happened. Then you're in Miss University. You've done Miss University. You've gotten a lot of experience.
Yes.
Are you giving up? Because sometimes guys say, imenitosha. Did you say that, or you decided this is what I want to do?
I actually said that.
Yes.
Because in COVID things were a bit slow.
Yeah,
there was
true.
not so much to do. So I can say I started thinking of other things, like how I can come up with my own brand and make it a business. But I wasn't really focusing on pageantry. So in 2021, I went to watch Miss Earth auditions were happening. Now I'm already done with Miss University Kenya. I've managed to be top 5, and then I've won Miss Congeniality. And I didn't think that it's something that I can really continue going. But I can continue moving forward. Yeah. So but I still had an interest in it. So when Miss Earth auditions were happening in Nakuru, I just told myself, let me go watch. And then I went to watch. And then watching, I saw there's not so much competition. Maybe I can remind myself and see if I'm still the queen that won as a fresher. Yeah, so I actually borrowed heels. Yes. I met a queen that I was with her for Miss University Kenya. So I asked for her heels. She was so kind to assist me. And then I hit the runway.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Because at Miss University Kenya, we teach you sisterhood.
Sisterhood.
So of course, definitely the person who went through it and they're really into it.
Yeah.
They would never deny you an opportunity.
Never.
So just to go back to the Mr. and Miss University, one of the things that most pageants in Kenya don't do is the boot camp.
Yes.
Most guys don't understand what happens at boot camp. Boot camp is where the queen is created. So could you tell us, if you went for the boot camp, what was your experience, and how did it go at the boot camp?
Yeah, so I always love to remember and reminisce about my experiences in Mr. and Miss University Kenya. Number one, I can say like we're the team that had the longest boot camp. I remember we'd even joke like, this is like it's like a military like we would complain, and then next weekend we still come, like all of us come. I remember we didn't have people that actually quitted on in the long run, but we had like a lot of challenges. But because of the passion that we had and the sisterhood and brotherhood that Miss University Kenya had taught us, we'd always look forward to those weekends. Much as we'd have our challenges, but we always had that sisterhood and the desire to actually move on. Yeah, so I can say like my experience for Mr. and Miss University Kenya, the boot camp was actually perfect. And then I was also exposed to going to Kisumu. It was my first time in Kisumu.
Wow.
And then we went, I remember our event was in Kisumu, and it was this time for census.
Yes.
Yeah, we really had a beautiful event, and the event was a success. So I always say to date that most of the friends that I actually hold tight are the people that I met in Mr. and Miss University Kenya. So it's the best experience that I ever had, and I met the most amazing people. Yeah, so like you said, a lot of events don't have the boot camps, and if they have those boot camps, you can't really compare it to what Pambazuko offers.
Yeah, so the most important thing is, first, you in a new city, you've just been hearing of the second biggest lake in the world, in Victoria, the proud people, the Luo and stuff like that. Then you're there and you've learned, because most of the boot camps, I think, is you guys come and go, but this time you're together with the girls. You get to know each other so well. So I think we need to encourage most pageants to do boot camps, the body boot camps, where you find out who these real people are. Because sometimes people can put in a face, by the time you realize you've crowned the wrong person. Yeah, so you're done with the auditions for Miss Earth. How did it go?
Okay, before we go to Miss Earth, I've actually remembered a very important point. I remember when we were doing Mr. and Miss University Kenya, there's this time we would do pitching to brands. We would actually look for sponsors together. That is something else that I learned, and I've been actually using it even as my brand. When I'm looking for, like, I remember we used to go, like when we were in Kisumu, we actually went to the county government of Kisumu. That is where I learned pitching, actually. Like, you go to brands, you have to introduce yourself this and this way. And actually people are always interested to listen. Like, what does this young girl has to say? So it's another beautiful thing that I learned from the boot camp.
Wow.
Yeah, so way forward to Miss Earth, I went to Miss Earth. It also went well. It went well. I didn't win actually, but I actually won creativity. So it was a plus, and I made it to top 5, and it was quite a competitive event. So I'd say that in each and every event that I'd go to, something would always stand out for me. It's number one, it's my personality, and number two, it had to be my creativity. Yeah, so it even rubber stamped the fact that I've always wanted to do, like, to have my own fashion brand. Yeah, because if something stands out amongst quite a number of contestants, then definitely if I style something, I can actually sell to quite a number of people. And the fact that I learned pitching, thanks to you, the fact that I learned pitching to sponsors, it's something that I can use to my brand. So I'd say pageantry has taught me a lot, and it has exposed me to quite a number of networks, and to even know how to run, like, your own things. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had Miss Trade with Miss Earth.
Yes.
And this was run, I think, by Mrs. Kamunge.
Yes.
So you've come from a pageant that is run by men, then you're at Miss Earth, where there's a mother figure or probably a church figure. How was it? Is it the same, or you learned totally different things?
Okay. I can say it was just a continuation of what you had actually taught us in the boot camp, because it was the same thing: timekeeping, sisterhood. There was the fact etiquette. Yeah, so it was just a continuation of what I had learned. And then it was easy for me, because, you know, that we had like new queens that have not been in a boot camp before, that they have not been in this in a serious pageantry. So to me it was easy, because I knew I have to go there in time, I have to be there on time, I have to be disciplined. Like, I didn't have to fit in. I was already molded to, like, this is something that we are used to. Yeah.
Yeah, because Ms. Kamuge is a very good friend of mine. I've known her for almost 30 years now. and as a mother figure also, because she has a Vera Beauty College where they do hair, fashion, design, and you're there, a student, not a student, but somebody whose dream is to become the best designer and stuff, already a dream that came from high school. Uh, was there one or two things that you learned after Miss Mishap or thereafter wanted to go into design and fashion?
Yeah, because for Miss Earth, something that I loved about Miss Earth is the fact that they were providing us with outfits, like all through the competition. Yeah, so through the I remember there was this designer, I won't mention her. She gave me an outfit that I was to use, I think, for introduction, for cocktail. And then when Miss Kamunge asked, "Are you girls comfortable?" I raised my hand and I told her, "Mom, I'm not comfortable." And then she was like, "Why are you not comfortable?" I told her, "I really don't feel like I look okay. It's a nice dress, but I feel like the fabrics is not like they don't match, they don't go well." And then Mom was like, "It's fine. You can actually talk to your designer and then you iron it out." So when I spoke to the designer, she was like, "No, let me teach you something about the fabrics." So this type of fabrics, like she really explained a lot of things around the fabrics. So I was like, oh, okay. So like I've been thinking about doing my own things in terms of styling and all, but I really I really haven't learned much in terms of fabrics and styling.
Yes.
Yeah, so I also learned something. I also picked up something from that designer, which was how you merge different fabrics. Yeah, so to me, it didn't, like I wasn't looking at it from a designer's eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, so in short, what we're saying is pageantry is a school where it's just like class 1 to 8 where you pick subjects. So you get interested in makeup, hair, fashion, etiquette, timing, leadership, and all those things. That's what the man out there has not been told. This is exactly what goes behind the scene. So them, they just see beautiful people on catwalk looking nice and stuff like that. So we need, as former beauty queens, not former, the beauty queens. I keep saying we can never have a former because you're Miss St. Paul's that year. It remains Miss St. Paul's. You are Miss Earth top 5 finalist. So it remains finalist. So we need to keep pushing the narrative that this is not about displaying the outer beauty. It's more of that inner beauty. So you've done it, Mr. Kamunge. You've learned 1, 2, 3. So what next? Because most of the time you find when you're ready in that game, you feel like you want to get out, but there's something just pulling you back. So did you at that point say, okay, Tosha, I've given up on this. I want now to do something else. Was there a point where you thought you want to move out from pageantry, or you continue doing your pageants?
I actually, I had already given up before that. But now after this, I just wanted more and more.
After Miss Earth?
After Miss Earth, I wanted like something more for myself. I was like, it's okay, I've come out of it, but I still need something. I need to be a Miss because I know what I can give to the world. And sometimes you can also do that even you without you being a Miss. But once you're a Miss, it's easy for you to actually network. Because it's easy, like it's even easy once you walk in, let's say for Nakuru County government offices. If I go there with a sash and my crown, they're definitely going to want to listen to, oh, let's see what this pretty girl has to offer. And then when you start talking and then they realize, oh, so she's not only pretty, she also has brains. She's smart. Yeah. So like being a queen gives you that platform, but then once you have that platform, what are you offering? Yeah, so I wanted more. I really knew I really wanted to like be a Miss somewhere. So and then I saw Miss Face of Nakuru, and by then I had already decided to settle in Nakuru. So I was like, maybe I should try this out. And then reaching out, I saw like it's the same company, it's the same agency that we were working with for Miss University Kenya. I was like, I know these people, this is a legit event, so I'm definitely going for it. Yeah, so that's how I registered for Miss Face of Nakuru. And then we starting off, like I said, I had already learned this, so I already had those skills. I knew what they're looking for. I know what each pageantry is looking for. So I just gave it my A game. And thanks be to God, I was actually crowned the very first Miss Face of Nakuru.
Wow,
Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you.
And you did very well
Thank
in
you.
terms of just presentation. So most of the models, when they come for the pageants, one of the things they tell us is, my friend has pushed me to do it. My boyfriend thinks I'm pretty and stuff like that. Not knowing there's more than being pretty. And you've spoken about it. There's some things you learned getting into the pageantry. So what would you tell those young people who are trying to get into pageantry without that knowledge that they can actually, it's not about your outer beauty. What, I know you've sat in as a judge, what do you look at to get a beauty queen, a serious pageant? Leave alone, there are a lot of pageants, there are over 300 pageants, but the serious, the ones you've competed in Miss World, Miss Universe, those big pageants. Could you help that young girl at home, or the mother who wants a daughter to contest, your experience, you as now as a judge, tell us, give us a brief, what is needed for you to become a queen?
Yeah. So for the little girl out there who's trying to get into pageantry, and also for a mother who would like her daughter to go into pageantry, this would be my advice. First of all, look out because not each and every pageantry is actually good. That is my opinion. And without fear of confrontation, yeah, that is my opinion. Not each and every pageantry is suitable for that girl out there. Because so if you are trying to look for a fit pageantry for your daughter to go to, please try look it out, and also get that girl a mentor. Or if you're a young girl that you want to get into pageantry, just get yourself a mentor. Look out what this and this person has been doing. Because I actually say, if I had a mentor at that time, there's a lot of pageantry that I wouldn't have gone to. Yeah, there's quite a number of pageantry that I've just mentioned the best, but there's quite a number of pageantry that I went to. And looking back, I was like, if I had a mentor, this person would have guided me like, hey, Wairimo, don't go to this and this pageantry. Let's work on you, and then you go to this other pageantry. Yeah, because sometimes you go to pageantry and they're just out there to make money. They want to use you to make money, but you'll go to pageantry that they really want to grow you. They want to grow your public speaking. They want to grow you as branding. They want to work on your creativity and interests. Yeah. So one thing, just get yourself a mentor, and also look out for pageantry that actually fits your interests and values as a person.
Great. Thank you for giving my viewers that information. Sometimes you find young, beautiful models who are eager and want to win every other pageant. So you find some queens they come for an event and they have like 4 sachets of 4 different pageants. When I listened to you, you took time. Miss St. Paul's Nakuru, then went for Miss St. Paul overall, then Miss University, then took a break, Kidogo, went for Miss Earth, and like that. So it's a process.
Yeah.
So when you're talking, I thought I had you talk about branding. So at some point, what I was going for is when you have 4 different titles, that means you have 4 different brands. There's no way you're going to do a brand which you competing. It's like Coca-Cola and EABL. They may not be the same, but they're all beverages. So you find they can never be on the same table. So it's the same thing with pageantry. Most of the models have understood that you must learn how to brand yourself. For example, you can't be Miss St. Paul's, then you are still Miss Earth at the same point. So you'll be divided. Which search do I go for the function? So let's teach our young people about branding, because I know I've seen you brand yourself very well in terms of even in your business. So when every other morning when I wake up, I'm looking through on my WhatsApp, I can see your status about your brand. So that's one thing we're missing. That's why most people don't understand this pageantry thing. So tell us about branding in pageantry. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I talk about pageantry, I think it goes hand in hand with being thirsty. Like it's really good to be ambitious. It's really good to like every day you just want to do something new. But again, you can be doing something new that maybe in the next 3-5 years we'd have forgotten about you. So branding is very vital because once you brand yourself, it will even be easier when someone thinks of let's say I want a model choreographer. It's easy for a name to come through. But once you are Miss ABC, Miss this, Miss this, Miss this, and all of that is in 1 year. Because I say pageantry is like if you really don't strategize yourself well and plan yourself well, you're actually going to miss out on quite a number of opportunity. So like I said, pageantry and being thirsty goes hand in hand, and not each and every water is safe for you to take.
True.
Yeah, so once you win, for example, let's talk about, for example, Face of Nakuru. Let me talk about it because it's then going right now. So you'll find like maybe someone has won Face of Nakuru, and then maybe shortly she has also seen another event, probably even lower, above the standards for Face of Nakuru, and you still want to go for it. For what? For money. You'll get that money, but your brand is like you keep decreasing your own value. Yeah, so you just focus on what you have at that moment. Go sell yourself as that Face of Nakuru. Once you hand over, then you can maybe consider to go to the next thing. Yeah, so for like myself, I know like I always want to do something of my own, and I can sell myself through the networks that I've managed to make over time. Yeah, so that's why I started Princess Warrior. First I started is I really wanted to start it as a fashion brand, like maybe get styled with Princess Warrior. Princess Warrior is my stage name, so to say. Yeah, so like I always wanted to do it, but I was like, no, I don't want to do it. Start something small, and then okay. They always say that humble beginnings, but for that one, I didn't want to do it. Start it with humble beginnings. So like I've just been having like the logo and the name for the longest. Yeah, until now, I decided like, let me have maybe like a brand in a brand. Yeah, let me have Princess Warrior, do something to do with events because it's also part of styling. Yeah, do something with events in terms of picnics and styling. And then this one will be able to fund now my main goal. Yeah, which is fashion and styling.
Great.
Yes.
So what we are listening is you need to focus for you to be able to grow a brand.
Yeah.
I love the example you've given. For example, you cannot be a Miss today, your Face of Nakuru, then the next thing your Face of Miss Space. Space is just the club. Then Face of Nakuru was done as Chiles, but it's a Nakuru face. One of the things, if you go for that, if you have a serious organizer, they'll probably not decrown you, but you'll see number two doing so much that you're not doing. That means your brand as recognition is reduced. So if you're planning to become a beauty queen, give it 1 year. It's just like class. You have to go to class 1 for the 3 terms to go to class 2 and stuff like that. We're missing that. The models are in a hurry to be in the next place. So they're thirsty. That's what, and like you put it very well. You can't be thirsty for any water. You end up drinking the bad water. So we are at Miss Face of Nakuru. You've won, and what I realized is that thirst of you giving back to society, which is the key purpose for pageantry. So tell us what kept driving you to clean the cities of Nakuru, to give the girls talks, to give them sanitary tower. What drove you as a queen? You already have your sash. You can do beautiful pictures and just do IG and social. But you decide to dirty your hands. Tell us, give us insight. What drove you? Because sometimes you want to give up. It's not easy to mobilize resources to do such things. Yes.
Yeah. So my my background of the story is actually like I really used to look up on girls that are pretty, but much as they're pretty, they're also giving back to the society. Yeah. So the main thing that actually drove me is like to educate our small sisters and small friends that much as you're doing well as a person, you look good. There's also times that you actually get to those ghettos and do what people might not think that a beauty queen would be doing. So just get into those spaces, talk into those ghetto girls, go cleaning, so that you can actually give value to yourself as a beauty queen. Because okay, like you said, mobilizing people is not an easy task. But when you start it, people are going to believe. Well, like when you believe in something so much, people are actually going to join you. But once you start today and then stop it, maybe in the next 3 weeks or maybe several months, people are going to forget about you. So you've been a beauty queen, and then what have you done?
Yes.
What have you done? Have you given back to the community? Because those communities, those are the people those are your people. If at all you'd maybe you'd be called to like, oh hey, we hear that you are the face of Nakuru 2021. We were thinking maybe we could partner. We are having this event. Those are the people that you'll actually go to, and they'll be glad to come because you also came through for them. You cleaned the place where they are. You went to visit children's home, which is in actually their place. So those are your people. That is one thing that actually most beauty kings and queens don't understand. That once you go, like once you give back, those people will actually give back to you. They may look like maybe they can't, maybe you think that they can't really come through, and maybe like you're doing so much to help them, but trust me, one day you might need them. One day you might even have a company that actually approaches you and tells you like, oh, we were thinking of doing a CSR. Do you like have someone in your contacts where you think we can actually maybe donate product ABC, so you already have a platform. Like it would even be easier for you to have a name. Yeah. So much as you're a beauty queen, like just have people in your back that you actually support, and maybe one day they also support you back.
Great. I was just reading something yesterday, and this is one of the African greatest player. His name is Eto Sam. So he got a phone call from Messi. So it's like, oh, Samuel. So it's like, who is this? You still have my number? So it's like, yeah, yeah. So on the other side, Messi says, you know what? Even though I lose my number today because of your status in football that changed African football, I'll never lose your number. I want to come to Africa and help. So
Wow.
Messi went to Cameroon, met these kids, and they were so happy about it. So he says, I want to do this without cameras. I want to be that striker that strikes people's hearts. So he went and did a lot of football pitches, stadiums in small pitches, stadiums in Cameroon. So the love for him is not about how many people are supporting me on the ground, but those guys that are giving me that love. Usually there's that appreciation. You meet somebody today, you may never know them, but they ask you, Warimo, you've changed my life.
Yeah.
So like, hey, I've never met you. I see your status, I see how you made it, and probably this is what has made me become Miss Kabarak or whatever stuff. So the most important thing in pageantry, because we need leadership, and those are the things that needs to be done. You must be dirty. So thank you so much for just giving back to society, and you're still doing it up to date. So I think it's something that it has to come from your heart as a queen. So there are things that you regret doing as a beauty queen.
Yeah.
What would it be? Just one or two that you did probably at that stage where you were struggling to get your crown and stuff. It becomes very hard because it's not easy. By the way, most of the things we're talking about is how glamorous it is. It's sometimes very expensive, not just financially, emotionally, and stuff like that. So could you tell those guys who want to get into pageant, it's not easy, and what you yourself, did you have an experience that drove you almost saying, I give up? Sometimes a designer was let you down, just something.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a time, it was actually during Miss and Miss University Kenya. Yeah. So I was really struggling because I wasn't really familiar with Nairobi, and most of the trainings were happening in Nairobi. So I used to have tough times traveling. Maybe at times I'm even actually at home in Eldoret. So I have to travel from Eldoret to Nairobi, and then maybe spend at a cousin's or friend's place, and then the following day go for the training. So I used to have like really, really, really tough time maneuvering in around in
City.
Nairobi. Hey,
Yeah.
it used to be tiresome. And at times I'd even go ask myself, like, why am I doing this? For what? Like, we have a lot. We can just get the winners among those girls there because they are equally smart, equally brave, equally potential, equally beautiful. Like, why am I putting myself in all this?
Yes.
And then of course I used to struggle in terms of transport and all that, accommodation at times. But honestly, looking forward, I don't regret, because either I used that money to come for trainings, I'd still have spent that money, or better yet, maybe I wouldn't even have it in the first place, because I always say God always provides for whichever thing that you really want. If I wouldn't be traveling all the way, then God would not even providing for like that facilitation and all. And then also another thing that I regret, like I said, is maybe if I had a mentor, or if I had done my research well, there are some other pageantry and events that I wouldn't have really put my face on. Yeah. So
Great.
do your research well.
Great. Like our beauty queen Warimo said, not all that looks beautiful are beautiful. Make sure you do your due diligence before you run to play any game. So, just before we finish, what advice would you give to that young girl who want to get into pageantry? Probably, sometimes I see young people, it's not their thing, but they're really fighting to be part of pageantry. But pageantry is broad, like we've spoken about makeup, fashion, etiquette, and all that. What would you advise that young person who's watching today to never give up, to keep doing whatever they want to do? Like you said, you took a step of faith, and you are here where you are.
Yeah, so my advice would be number one, do your research. Number two, know your niche. Like, find yourself. If your interest is in designing, if your interest is in makeup, if your interest is in styling, name them all. Like, just find yourself, so that once you go for, let's say, pageantry, for a competition, you know that much as I'm competing, and if all goes well, I win, I only have a span of 1 year. So what is next after that 1 year? Do I want to be forgotten after that 1 year? And then another thing, like, don't be everywhere. Yeah, don't be everywhere. Just be you, be smart, and don't be everywhere once again. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Queen. We really appreciate you coming. This is one of the most beautiful queens, both in and out, in terms of just respect. She called me at 1 o'clock to say she's in problem. I'll get off with my pajamas and run and save. That's what brotherhood, sisterhood means. We want to build a society where there's love among ourselves, there's unity and peace. So, guys, if you've not clicked the subscription, kindly subscribe with Sash and Style. We are on season 8. There's a lot that we've been learning, and we've gotten education from that. So click, watch episode 8, season 2, and have brilliant ideas. Don't go for anything without doing due diligence. We love you. Thank you so much for listening to us. Bye. See you next week.